What's up, guys? Hope everybody's having a good New Year's. Um, it took me a few minutes to get on here. It's been a while since I've did a live. Matter of fact, it's been since September. Can you believe that? Since September, I've did a live one, or maybe before then. But anyway, just wanted to jump on here real quick and just wish everybody a happy New Year. Hope your Christmas was great. And I want to also invite you, if you have not been able to come through, where our new location is. Obviously, the address is 452 Motlow Road, Tullahoma. We want to invite you to come for a New Year's service. We'll be there Sunday. You want to come in and just look, see the new location, see the building. If you haven't already, just kind of invite you to come do so. We are still trying to get a few things finished up, but we're just about there where we want to be. So just want to get on here, invite you to come for a New Year's service. Obviously, again, it'll be this Sunday, 10:30 a.m., 452 Motlow Road, Tullahoma, so that you can come and see. Especially, I've had lots of people ask me about when will we be ready. Well, we're not 100% ready yet, but I do want your New Year's to start off right. And if you're able and have not been able to come, I want to invite you to come and see the building, come see it. And again, we're still trying to transition everything and get everything where it needs to be. So anyway, there you go. Please come if you're able. Again, it's be 10:30 this Sunday morning, January the 5th. So come and hang out with us. It's been a lot of hard work, and we're grateful for that. And I don't want to go into all that, but it's been a journey. I think we might have broke ground the end of June, and we have been working diligently after that, and every day. I mean, and as much as we can, and as many as possible could be there. I always say that when it comes to these things, you have three different kinds of people, and I believe that. And you have those that can't be there. You got those that pray, those that pay, and those that can come and do work. So I'm appreciative of all of it, and I appreciate you guys that has prayed. I appreciate you guys that have sowed into it, was faithful along the journey, and we've needed that. Just important as we needed people to be there with us working. Man, it was just important that people, that never gave up giving, because it takes all three of those things to do that. So, and I'm just impressed by there's quite a few families I'm just impressed by that even never went to our temporary location down in Normandy that we had to be down there to be the Bush Ministries. We had families that didn't want to drive that far, but they never missed giving. And man, I'm impressed by that, number one, and I am I'm appreciative. I heard this saying. It said, abundance in the kingdom isn't measured by what you have or what you accumulate. Abundance in the kingdom is by what you give. And man, that's so good. Abundance in the kingdom is not measured by what you accumulate or what you try to save. You're measured in the kingdom by what you give away. So I had to say thank you guys, or many of you guys that give that hadn't been able to be there, and you didn't get frustrated. You just simply understood that the giving was kingdom. some people are driven by their giving, by their feeling. And I'm grateful for we've had some people faithful. So thank you. Just wanted to say that. But anyway, just kind of transition into this thing. We will be there 10:30 this Sunday morning. Invite you to come. If you have not been able to come, please come. And, if you don't want to stay the whole time, come and look at the building. Come and, be part of the service. Whatever you want to do, it's open to you for the new year. I shared this a few times, but just sort of a reminder of who we are, what we're doing along the journey. I would always just say, and I don't know why I said it, but it just became very, I don't know, it just become very ritual for me. And ritual is probably not a good word, but I would just repeat myself and just say, man, this is the house of the Lord. This is the house of the Lord. I would always say that. And it just feels good. It feels it just feels that way. And it feels quite different. Even it's been difficult trying to transition, get everything going, and our worship team, the sound, and just all the stuff that comes with it, building materials in the floor, and just everything that comes with if you've moved any boxes laying around, there's always something to try to probably some always try to hinder you. And I think, if you look for a hindrance, you're going to find it. So I've learned to push through them hindrances. No matter what I feel like, I just push through them, and I've learned to do that. And I've learned I don't always go off feeling. But along this journey, even when right after we kind of started breaking ground, I just always say, this is the house of the Lord. This is the house of the Lord. This is for our families. And we were digging up. We started to break ground one day, and I just seen the tip of a tag stick. Well, I didn't know what it was, but it's just about this much right here. If you can see that sticking up out of the ground, I didn't know what it was. I reached down and I picked it up, and it was a tag. And I hope you can see this. And I'm going to just briefly go through this, but this was a Tennessee tag. It had 1962 in the corner. And, of course, I found out also had 91 on it. But it's a rough tag, 1962 tag. And that means it was a Lynchburg tag. Lynchburg, somebody had it. But anyway, what got me was I felt like 1962 was significant to me the day I picked it up. So I just began, I held that tag, brought it home, cleaned it up, and just pondered on that. And I thought, man, so I just began to see what happened in 1962. That's kind of where my mind went. And, nothing stood out to me. And the Lord woke me up that night and said, he said that there's not a 19 in front of it. So I said, huh, interesting. So I just started looking up what 62 meant. So anyway, briefly, I looked up 62. In 62, the 6 represents man was created on the 6th day. And Abba saw that man needed a mate. So he gave him Eve, obviously. And those two created 6 represents man, but Eve brought harmony and love. So 62 means harmony, means love, means family. It actually 6 in the Hebrew literally means a pillar. It means strong together. Adam and Eve, they were strong together. It also in the Hebrew, it means connecting heaven and earth. So I got really excited when I began to see these things. And 2 represents harmony. So 6 represents strong, together. Um, the 2 together, Adam and Eve brought family. It was a connection. It said in Hebrews 6 is a place of connecting heaven and earth. And 2 represented harmony. I looked this up. Meant home, meant family, means balance. Or it meant building a house. And it's the Hebrew to bit and bat, which is a picture of a house actually it's a picture of a house with son and daughter in it, which is a beautiful image, by the way. So 62 represents harmony, strength, and family, and a connection and earth. So when I seen this, that's what got me excited about this tag. So this tag will be hanging up in the church, because I felt like that, we when we're making a move and doing anything in our life, whether if you buy a vehicle, you're looking to buy a house, whatever it may be, you're asking the Lord to help you. Hey, show me something, give me peace about it. You're looking for something that can bring just kind of peace over it. And I felt like that when I picked this tag up, insignificant to this, just an old metal tag, but I felt like that was tangible to me, and because I was really nervous. I represent a group of people that that stands behind me, and I felt like that we was making the right move. And so when I picked that up, I just felt like it was the right thing. And so but I kept saying the house of the Lord through this journey. And obviously the name, I don't want to have to go all the way back there, but obviously the name of the location we're going to be in, obviously has changed. It's the Homestead Way. And, there's no connection with nobody else there other than what the Lord spoke to me, personally. And the way Homestead came with me, the way we live life and the way we live here, our families on our family farm here. And the way came with other groups, because we were kind of torn in Homestead or the Way, and they just said, hey, let's bring that together. And it makes sense to me. And I'm not caught up in much of that. But I said, man, that just felt right as well. So we went with that, and that's where that came from, period. Nothing else. And but anyway, so in that, I just want to kind of lay this in your lap. So I just was thinking about, the house of the Lord. And, we often connect the house of the Lord to a building or location, but probably not always the right thing. But but I just want to lay this to you just real quick and give you this quick devotion. Let me read this scripture. It's in Genesis 28. Let's see, I'm going to start reading. We'll probably, I'll just kind of start with, he's talking about, I'm going to start with verse 15, kind of back me up a few verses. But anyway, it said, here's the Lord talking, and told him he'd bless him. He's going to bless everybody in the earth. But he said, never forget, I am always with you and will protect you wherever you go. And one day I will bring you back to this land, for I will neither leave you nor fail to fulfill every word I have promised to you. So obviously we know that promise came back into early, but this was Jacob. Obviously he was sleeping. He was in a dream. It said, when Jacob awoke from his dream, he was overcome with awe and said, Yahweh is here. He is in this place, and I didn't even realize it. And I thought, how powerful is that? Because often, how many times have we been led to an uncomfortable place in life only to encounter the Lord? Have you ever said, looking back over your life, truly the Lord really was in all that I went through, and I didn't even realize it or know it? We often discover that he is where we did not think he would be. You may have a divine visitation anywhere. Ordinary places can become holy places. And that's what happened to Jacob. Jacob woke up and said, I didn't even realize it, that the Lord is in this place. And many of us, I think, can look back over that and say most of our encounters didn't come within the confinement of a building. Now, great services, yes. Had great time with people, yes. I mean, I'm grateful that I've been, been able to minister all over the world and seen a lot of different things, a lot of different religion and different aspects of services and churches and all these things. But many times along the journey, we end up experiencing Lord outside of a building, and we only to take that testimony back to that building. And Jacob had something so significant right here in this scripture. And he said this. Listen to what he said on the next verse, verse 17. He said, terrified and overwhelmed, he said, how awesome is this place? I have stumbled right into the house of God. This place is a portal, the very gate of heaven. So now check this out. Now Jacob wasn't in a house. He wasn't in a building at this point. There wasn't no building. There wasn't no house. And this got my attention because we often think that we have to be in a building, which is not. I'm not going there. We want to be in a building. We need to be in a building. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we often lay the responsibility on a building. But here was Jacob, and he called the place he was at the house of God. And it was not about a building, a structure. It was about a position or a place or the presence, where the presence of God overshadowed him. And I loved his response because he said, how awesome is this place? I have stumbled right into the house of God. The place is a portal, the very gate of heaven. Listen, the house of God, listen, is a gate. And along this, I kept saying, remember, I would say, man, this is the house of God. This is the house of God. And that was really all I could say. It just, I would get in there and I've been so busy with work that I'm kind of narrowed when I get busy and I get focusing and a lot of times but I just always say the house of God. And when I seen this, and again, it wasn't about a location, about the building, but the house of God is a gate. It's a gate from a passage gate to two realities. It's a place. The church is a place from heaven to earth. This is a passageway. That's what this was. Jacob seen the ladder of the angels coming back and forth. It's a passage. It's a gate. It's like if you got a gate. We here on the farm have many of gates. And those gates are there for a reason. Those gates are entrance to other areas of the farm, but they have to be closed off for the animals here. But I'm saying they're passages to other places. And the house of God is a portal. I love he called it a portal. But the house of God is a gate. The house of God is a gate between two realities. It's a place of where heaven and earth meet, and it's a gate, it's an opening. And I think for me and you, the house of God is a gate. It's a place of one revelation to another. The New Testament calls it this. It's a place of one. We go from one glory to another glory. Uh, we know that even the New Testament that Jesus said that he was he was um, the first of the house of the Lord. He said, I am the sanctuary. This is the temple where God dwells. He said, he said, I have to go so that you guys become the portal. You guys become the house of God. This is the temple. Greater is he that's within us than he that's in the world. Listen, we can go anywhere. You can go into a shack, and I've been in some horrible places in Africa. I'm not talking about multi-million-dollar buildings. I'm talking about I've been in mud houses and doing home church in Africa and Honduras that the presence came. Why? It wasn't about the structure. Listen, surely this is the house of God. And man, oh man, I'm overwhelmed with his presence right now. But I remember being in these places because we put so many emphasis on the mortal, and it's got to be perfect, and the lighting's got to be just right, and the sound's got to be just right, and the building's got to have all these things, and we're more into entertaining people than we are. Is this the house of God? I want to be. My desire is that I not have none of those. But if I could just say, this is the house of God, that's so much more. I want to be like, Jacob and say, man, I stumbled into this. I didn't have nothing to do with this. I didn't have nothing to do with this. I found myself in places in other countries that I'm like, this is house of God. It was rough. They didn't have the perfect sound. They didn't have the perfect microphones. The clothing wasn't perfect. I mean, none of this, man. It was actually what us in the Western culture would turn our head to it. Would be like, I'm not going to that church. They didn't have a youth program. They didn't have great services. They didn't have 2 or 3 services. They didn't have 200 people, but it was about 5 or 6 of us, or 10 or 12 of us in a little old compact house. And guess what? We brought the house of God with us. We brought it with us. Whew, I'm overwhelmed. Give me a minute. And the whole time I've been saying, this is the house of the Lord. And I'm so grateful that I stumbled. It's not a multi-million-dollar facility. God, I'm grateful for that. But in this, I'm creating a place that families can come together, not with a perfect youth group. I feel like when you come to my house, I don't send your kids to the back room. I feel like they need to sit in the living room and, us have a meal together. And that's kind of my outlook. And I know a lot of my leaders don't believe that for sure. And that's okay. I'm always optimistic about that. But I'm saying that I want this to be a portal. I just want it to be a place that we can come together as families and the kids, but it's a place that we go from glory to glory, and I know we have our own thinking of what that looks like, and I'll share them later on. But I don't think glory to glory is 2 or 3 campuses and all those things. I mean, I don't, but I'm saying that I want to be the house of the Lord. I want to be that. I don't want my attention to be, it has to be at a location. I don't want it to be that everything's got to be perfect. And God's not going to move if it's not perfect. God's not going to move. And I don't want the frustrations of boxes in the floor, because I'll never forget when we finished building our first house in 2005, of December of 2005 and 2006. Kids were real small. We'd been working to move in right at Christmas time, and the kids are so upset. They were small, 2005, and they're like, "We don't have a Christmas tree. Boxes laying everywhere. We're trying to get moved in 2 days before Christmas, 2005." Kids saying, "We don't have, we ain't got Christmas tree. Santa can't come see us." All these things, and boxes was laying everywhere. We wasn't unpacked like I am now. I was sick then in 2005. I've had a cold the last couple of days, but man, I was sick, running the fever, and trying to get moved in. It was nasty and cold, and boxes and clothes. Y'all know how it looks. You know what it looks like. So I just went and got a small tree, put it up at the house, and said, "Look, Santa's going to come." Look, it didn't matter how size of the tree. It doesn't matter to the kids that we had a tree. And I remember waking up on that Christmas morning. Kids are small. They're excited. We somehow did the best to get some presents out there that night. Boxes laying everywhere. But guess what? It was still home to us. Boxes laying everywhere, clothes laying everywhere. We wasn't fully moved in, trying to get everything in the perfect place. We wanted to but man, the kids didn't care. When they woke up and they seen that little tree, they seen the presents, it became home. And we've worked diligently trying to get everything ready. We've worked diligently trying to get everything. We all want that perfect place, but it's not. We still got stuff here, just kind of here and there. We're trying to get everything working, but man, I feel like we did on that time in 2005. Man, regardless of all the stuff getting everywhere, hey, it's becoming a house for a family, a house of God. And man, I believe it's a portal, and it's an amazing place to be. So listen, just want you to ask, and I'm just still overwhelmed because I don't want you to put emphasis on the location of where you go. I want you to put emphasis that you are the house of the Lord. You are the temple of the Lordship of the Holy Spirit. You're the one that makes that thing happen. It's not where you go. Listen, God, only time that God fell anywhere is when they was in the wilderness. He fell down. He allowed manna to come in heaven. After that, he never fell anywhere. It always flowed. The new covenant, he never fell into place. He always flowed. He comes from within us. So he don't fall in your church. He don't fall in your church. Listen, you bring him and you create a place that the Spirit of the kingdom of heaven, the Spirit has a place to bring liberty and freedom and the flow of it. Listen, he comes from within you. So whether you go to a big church, which, is great, or you don't, or you go to a home church, I just want you to be happy and say, listen, surely this is the house of the Lord. And we stumbled on it. We didn't have nothing to do with this. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. I don't want to give myself credit at all. Listen, I'm just like, man, I wouldn't be in this. I mean, dude, I'm the bottom of the barrel. So I don't say it. I say it 100%. I am the chief sinner. I promise you that. But I'm grateful, so grateful that me and you are the house of God. I want to be like Jacob, man. I stumbled on this thing, and it sure is good. So let me read. There's a few of these comments. Let's see. Yeah, let me be the house of the Lord. Thank you, yes, Amber, so much. You are. You don't have to try to be. You already are. Brittany, nothing matters but the prayer. That's right. Operating the Holy Spirit allows the fullness of God, not because of we are, because of who He is. I believe that for sure. Hey, Amber. That's my sister. Hey, I love you so much. Amber, please bring your family. Come see us Sunday or next Sunday or whenever you can. Come hang out with us. But anyway, I love you guys. Whenever you get this, just know that it's an invitation. Hopefully we can do some more live events, but we have been busy. We will not be going live from the church for a while. Just don't feel the need to do that right now. But try to do some live events from here or from the church probably once we get established a operating room that we can go live from there. But listen, 452 Motlow Road, Tullahoma. Come see us 10:30, January 5th. Invite us and a lot of our extended family that have not got to come in quite a few months. That's asked us to let them know. So here you go. We're letting you know. Please come be with us if you can. And you kind of got to work through some of our, still trying to get everything finished, but we do want to send that out there. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we are a place. It's a gate. It's only a transition. It's only a gate. It's a place that the church is a place that of heaven meets earth. And that's what we want to be. Listen, be that wherever you go, and be that place that heaven can visit earth. You are that place. We love you guys so much. Appreciate you. Amber Williams, love you. Love you and that boy of yours as well. He's special to us. Have a good day today. Again, Happy New Year. We'll see y'all Sunday.